Hello everybody and happy Sunday. It is time for my Sunday screening selection. And today we are talking about Avengers Endgame. All right, this one just came out last month on April 26th and it was epic. So if you have not yet seen this, it should still be in the theaters by the time this video posts. So go see it on the big screen. It is not one you want to wait to rent on TV. All right, directed by Anthony Russo and Joe Russo, this film brings huge life and epic story to the big screen. All right, we've got Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark or Iron Man. We've got Chris Evans as Captain America, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, Don Cheadle as War Machine, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. I mean, the list goes on and on. Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, Karen Gillan as Nebula. Oh my gosh, there is everyone. All right, so this is action, adventure, fantasy, superhero. You know, it is 3 hours and 1 minute in length, so be prepared to sit in your seat for a long time. But I tell you, it does not feel that long when you are watching this film. I gave this one a 5-star rating. All over, writing, cinematography, story, acting, I loved it. All right, so here's the storyline. After the devastating events of Avengers Infinity War, which was out in 2018, the universe is in ruins. With the help of the remaining allies, the Avengers assemble once more in order to undo Thanos' actions and restore order to the universe. Okay, yeah, sounds about right, right? Okay, here's my 2 cents. After Avengers Infinity War, we were left with a huge cliffhanger. And it was hard to anticipate how the story would continue, how the Avengers would go on, right? So Avengers Endgame was no doubt one of the most anticipated films this year, at least for me, and I'm sure a lot of you Avengers fans out there. I know where I lived, theaters were sold out for days, nonstop. People were standing in line to get good seats. The crowds applauded throughout the film and clapped at the end and stood. It was awesome. People, myself included, cried, cried during a superhero film. This movie it touched hearts and moved us to tears, and that is awesome. You expect that with a drama. You don't necessarily expect that with action adventure. There were devastation, sorrow, humor, a call to action, adventure, plot twists, and so much more. In my opinion, this was the best Marvel superhero movie ever. And seeing as it is the end of an era, it was a wonderful conclusion to the Avengers story. The CG was awesome, way better than I expected it to be, given what I have seen lately in some of the movies. So I was very pleasantly surprised with the CG in this one. I don't want to spoil the movie for those of you who haven't seen it yet, so I will just tell you this. Watch it. Even if you aren't a huge superhero fan, you should see this film. You will be on the edge of your seat the whole time. You know what? Never mind. It's been out for a while, right? Almost a month. You've probably already seen it anyway. If you're looking up a review video, you've probably seen it. So I'll give a few spoilers. Not a whole lot, but a few. This film is packed with so much to talk about. Maybe too much, but I won't go into it all. There are satisfying emotional moments throughout the film, and a lot of references to previous movies that just make it fun for fans to watch. I'm going to talk about my favorite characters in this film. Iron Man, of course, has to be on that list. I have always loved Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
God, seems like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
He has the strong hero persona down to a T, including the cocky I can save everyone attitude. However, what I loved most about his character in this film was his sensitive side that we never really got to fully see until Endgame. His struggle, his inner struggle, he had this inner struggle with having to choose between saving the world and staying with his family. And I felt that his decision made sense. And that process that he went through to get to his decision made sense. Even though his final sacrifice was devastating. I'm not gonna lie, I cried. Spoiler alert! Iron Man dies, and it's devastating, but it is a beautiful moment, him and his wife, and it's just awesome. All right, my next favorite is Black Widow.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
I've always liked the role of Black Widow, and I think that Scarlett Johansson does an amazing job with this role. I don't think we get to see her as much as I would like to, but she has some pretty emotional scenes in Endgame, and it was fantastic. And spoiler alert again, Black Widow dies in this epic sacrifice, and it's phenomenal, and I cried. All right, character number 3 that I want to talk about is Captain America. Okay, so if you remember, he had a pretty small role in Infinity War, but they brought him back with a vengeance into Endgame. And we get plenty of Captain America to enjoy. It also leaves us with a very satisfying conclusion to his character arc. Probably my favorite ending to any superhero ever. He has always been kind of like this man living in the wrong time period, living in a world as an outsider. And in Endgame, he actually gets his happy ever after. And that's pretty awesome. He gets the ending he's always deserved. So, spoiler alert, Captain America decides to live in the past with his long lost love, the love of his life, and we get to see that he has chosen the path that was right for him, and it is great. All right, my 4th and final character that I want to talk about is Hawkeye.
All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
We will.
I loved the deeply emotional story arc that they gave him in Endgame. Jeremy Renner is a great actor. I've loved him all the way back since his time in the movie SWAT. And I love how committed he is to every character he plays. And he was fun in the action scenes, but he was intense and driven and so good in the emotionally driven scenes as well. So you got to see both that tough guy, fun attitude, but you also got to see his emotions and his soft side, and that was awesome. I'd love to know what your favorite characters are in Avengers. I'd love to know if you've seen the film. So comment below and let me know if you've seen Endgame. Hopefully you have, because I've given away a few spoilers, my favorite ones. And let me know what parts were your favorite parts. All right, I do have a favorite. I had a number of quotes, a ton of them, and there's just too many to name them all. So I'm going for the one that kind of punches you in the heart. And that is Tony Stark. And he says, I love you 3000. Now, I'm not going to tell you what it references. If you are a parent, this one will really get you when you watch the film. If you're not a parent, it might not. You might be like, oh, that's lame. But for me, it was awesome, and it was a great moment. So I love you 3000. If you liked this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to be notified every time I post a video, click on that little bell below. So until next time, enjoy the movies, happy reading, and stay mindful.